Hi guys, welcome back. So I'll give a warning here. If you don't buy EH at the 20s, don't ask me if it's okay to FOMO when it's 50, 100 or 200. But it's kind of buy or you might regret later. And yes, I am that bullish on Ehang. After so much drama, I want to reinforce my conviction on it and believe that nothing have changed the fundamental other than being better. So many people come back to me and say that EH is never gonna grow, you're wrong, you're too early. And yes, I admit that this might be too early, but I also said that being too early is much better than being too late. Because like this, I can sleep much better. You know what's too late? Commercial real estate is too late. Oil industry is too late. When I hold this company, I cannot sleep well at night knowing that my investment, the industry can be anytime revolutionized or it's only going downhill. Versus when I'm too early, all I am doing is just looking forward, seeing this industry getting more and more influential, getting more and more penetrated into people's everyday life. It's just so much excitement. Seeing things happening little by little as you have expected or dreamed of one day, I think this is very rewarding. And I think this is what happened with my investment in NEO last year and this year. It's very rewarding to see things happening slowly, step by step, even though it's baby step. And I think this is going to happen for EH as well, even though it's still too early. So the CCP has a 5-year plan called 十四五 not long ago, and this is usually where they announce the 5-year plan ahead so that everyone would know the focus for the next 5 years. So this time for the 十四五 means the 14th 5-year plan compared to the 13th 5-year plan last time. What it had significantly increased is the focus in technology breakthrough. Big innovation is gonna be the long-term vision guiding all the direction from here on. This time they have made creation and innovation into a priority or level that had never seen before. Make technology independence into the strategic status for the country's development. And the focus is artificial intelligence, quantum computing, integrated circuits, health science, neuroscience, biological breeding, so kind of DNA projects, aerospace technology, and deep sea. So the focus on the sky and into the ocean. A lot of people are overlooking this, but I think it's really so important to look at, and I really believe that right now that's what the institutions are fiercely catching up to these strategies, the focus of the government, and laying out their plans for investment. Most of it probably we can see it resulted in the public market in some of the stocks, and some of them we cannot see, we cannot feel because it's in the private market, which is why I said right now for the investment in the private market, it's going on fire into this sector. Some companies are not public yet. They're private projects and already getting a lot of investments because they know that this is gonna be huge in the future that is sooner than we would expect. And that is why I think the Chinese government is giving out so much support for Ehang right now. And it's gonna be more and more. It could be actually the money investment. It is policy support, like for example, setting up a special team just to approve the EH216 certificate. This is the priority that I don't see many companies would have. And also very importantly, the infrastructure building. This is so important, guys. China has the majority of the best infrastructure teams by far more than other countries. And infrastructure is the foundation of the country, so it relates a lot on the planning of the government. If the government did not incorporate this massive infrastructure built into their future plan, basically a company cannot achieve this, no matter how rich they are. The plans, the green light, the investment they need. I don't think any other country can do that. I don't think any companies can have this kind of treatment from the government in this sector yet. I think Ehang is really lucky enough to get such support by the government. They must have been acknowledged with their core technology, the experience in this field. And once the government chose the company to focus on, and incubate. Once they set the target, it's very rare to change it unless the company failed dramatically. So once they have set the target, I see them turning full turbo to incubate a company and would make it grow as fast as it can, likely. So for this kind of investment, I would call it the soy sauce chicken kind of investment. This is a funny expression in Cantonese, like they serve the chicken and you serve soy sauce. I guess a lot of people have tried this Chinese dish, soy sauce chicken, which I love. Very, very delicious, especially if you have a good chicken. So, jokes aside, here it is. This is the investment style where I love because they're doing most of the work and we are just here enjoying with the soy sauce. And they is the government here. They're giving out a lot of support, both money and non-money, both capital and non-capital. And we as the company investors are here to enjoy the delicious dish, contributing with the least effort. So that is my theory for the soy sauce chicken investment style. Yummy. Here is the hungry investor ready to eat. This is the kind of investment I don't think I can find in many other countries or other industries. And it's similar with what happened with NIO last year when the Hefei government gave out a massive loan to NIO and saved it out of the deep wood there. If you feel like you're losing confidence in EH or you don't believe it because of the share price movement that is doing nothing but going down, then let me play you a clip. This is a clip that the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, described how the dot-com bubble went for Amazon compared to the share price.
That whole period is very interesting because the stock is not the company and the company is not the stock. And so as I watched the stock fall from 113 to 6, I was also watching all of our internal business metrics, number of customers, profit per unit, everything you can imagine, defects, etc. Every single thing about the business was getting better and fast. And so as the stock price was going the wrong way, everything inside the company was going the right way. And I need to go back to the capital markets. We didn't need more money. The only reason, a financial bust like the internet bubble bursting is makes it really hard to raise money, but we already had the money we needed, so we just needed to continue to progress. Wall Street kept.
So two things that he said here was, first, the share price was going like this for Amazon, while everything for the company was going like this. Everything for the company was getting better, all aspects were getting better, fast, steady growth. And I think this is what happened to a lot of our stocks in the past few months. Stock prices are getting hammered and the fundamental of the company is getting better and better. Same thing with NIO, same thing with EH, LKCL, ZEB, and Luckin Coffee. All of them have the same situation. And for Ehang, the certificate, it's getting closer. A lot of projects and plans they had promised had become more and more the reality. They are having more models, more collaboration internationally, factories getting set up, getting ready for mass production. The technology is getting more advanced. They're having more test flights with the flight routes that are crossing different cities. The team is getting more and more mature. From not so much a high base, for example, a lot of people complain about the IR, the PR, and the finance team, etc. I think these are going to get better and better. So everything is happening towards the upside and things are getting better and better. So it should be more and more reassurance for investors, but instead the share price just get lower and lower. So I think this is similar with the dot-com bubble. And when you look back, it is perfect time to accumulate. Again, I want to bring back this picture. I know I have shown it a few times already. It is the Urban Air Mobility Global Total Addressable Market projection by Morgan Stanley. The gray is Europe, light blue is China, green is US. And as you can see, the projection of China is much earlier than the US. You see all the blue is taking up much bigger and earlier compared to the blue. Growth until 2035 and all the way until like 2030 to 2035, you can compare that China is still the leading market for this. And it makes the total sense because look, not a lot of country or markets are ready for this, something that early. Exactly. You need the massive infrastructure, which I have mentioned. You need the market, which is the consumer, ready for it. Their mindset is open for this right now. You need the population density for this. To kind of mass produce or mass planning all the routes together and do all at once, and it's worth it for the huge amount of work. You need the traffic to be enough tense, well, driven by the population density as well. And there are so many first and tier cities in China that have traffic issue, not just a few cities. And you need a lot of the green lights from the government. And this ties directly to how fast things can go, how fast decisions can be made. And because of the political nature, just China can have the fastest decision making among the developed countries. And all of these conditions satisfying can make the price lower significantly. So then it's accessible, affordable for the mass market, not the niche market. So cheaper price means much faster applications or penetration to the mass market. And I think all of this combined together can help speed up this industry in China by a few years at least, which is kind of synchronizing with the report from JP Morgan as well, where China is roughly 5 to 8 years ahead of US for urban air mobility. That is why I strongly believe that the first country to roll out UAM would be in China. It has to be China and nowhere else. In a way, this is very similar with how the e-commerce roll out in China years ahead of the rest of the world, because of all these conditions required, much easier and faster. And same thing with mobile payment, why it can be so much more advanced, why more than 90% of the mobile payment market was in China, similar reasons. And I know that I have speculated for Ehang to get the certificate in the year of 2021, because it's the 100 year of the CCP celebration. I think it's the perfect timing, and also it is for the Beijing Olympic in 2022. But no one has a real crystal ball. A lot of things can happen in between. The Olympic can be affected by the Delta COVID again, just like the Tokyo Olympic. So there are a lot of variables, a lot of things can change. So even though we don't get the certificate in Q3, we get it in Q4 instead, or a bit later, I think it's still fine, because when you stretch it into the long term, you see how fast this market grows exponentially, starting from 1 to 2 years ahead of us. Then you really don't feel a few months matter that much. Chart-wise, I think it is doing a lot of heavy shaking. We have gone through a few months of shaking, moving between 20 to 40. If it was like before, the average share price could range from as low as 8 to as high as 120 something. It's very, very difficult to run. It's not sustainable. That's why the cost average needs to be concentrated into a small range, so it's easier, and mostly it's held by long-term investors, so it's more ready. Right now, the share price has been consolidating for a while in this range between 23 to 27. I think the market is waiting for something. Maybe it could be waiting for some news from China, and also maybe it's waiting for a final quick dip of the US market. Something like this. But I think we have been through a very good and long washing for a few months, so we could be ready and just waiting for the last signal. Okay, that's it for what I want to share with you today. And if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a big like and write me a great comment. And I'll see you tomorrow. That's it, guys. Hope you can find my videos helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give me a big like. Thank you.